And a recent report indicating that Paul Levesque McMahon, 3H's, has lost all confidence in this top WWE star. And after this past Friday on SmackDown, while we shouldn't be too shocked, we still remain stunned that this is actually happening. We'll talk all about it coming up. And an update to a recent update regarding Trinity Fatu Naomi, her jump from TNA back to WWE, and most likely this Saturday night at the Royal Rumble. We'll talk about this major update within the last 24 hours. It's all coming up in this upload. First and foremost, a major salute to every single one of you guys that caught even a moment of the Green Bay Packer coverage on this channel. Our first season ever covering the NFL, more specifically the Green Bay Packers, and you guys absolutely represented from the very first upload, reviewing the Green Bay Packers game 1 of this season. And through it all, right down to the final minutes of last night's game where we were defeated by the 49ers, eliminated from the tournament, gone from the playoffs, and we put up our last review of the season for the Packers. A lot of you guys tuned into every single review. Some of you guys tuned in maybe here or there to say what's up and smash the up. Appreciate it. Some of you only stopped by once during the season to say what's up to BC. You don't care about the NFL. You don't care about the Packers. You just wanted to say what's up, show that love. I appreciate you guys as well. Trust me. If you have even tuned in for a moment of the Green Bay Packer coverage, a big salute to you guys. Right up to the last game last night where we got that crushing defeat. That's going to sting for a while. But that upload went up at around 1:30 a.m. And over 1,000 of you guys have already caught that upload. That's the type of support that those reviews got this season. So I just want to let you guys know, whether you tuned in for a moment or you tuned into every single Green Bay Packer review, you guys rocked out. Maybe you're a Green Bay Packer fan that came across the channel that is predominantly pro wrestling content created, and you guys still subscribed and said, I'm going to rock with this wild Packer fan. I appreciate you guys that jumped on board during the season as well. It was one wild ride for the Green Bay Packers, and I can say it was one wild ride here on the channel covering them. It was so much fun. It was so amplified. We're going to do it all again. September, Season 2. We're going to cover the Green Bay Packers, and this time it'll be even bigger, better than ever before. More amplified than ever before. So after this upload, we have to take down all of the Green Bay Packer merch, all the paraphernalia, all the G's, man. All the G's. The only place to have more G's than BC's office studio will be T-Mobile. But it's all going to come down after this upload. But it'll all rise again come September, I assure you. So to my Packers, thank you for a wild season, and thank you for coming back to life toward the end, getting into those playoffs, shocking the world against Dallas, and coming within this close to beating the number 1 seed in the NFC, the 49ers. So close, yet so far away. We'll do it again next year. All right, guys, this story. This is just wild to even comprehend. Not even sure that I can comprehend it. Paul Levesque McMahon losing confidence and pretty much demoting this top WWE star. And if you saw Friday night on SmackDown, it's pretty evident. But when you actually do a deep dive into the research, it's even more clear that something's going on behind the scenes between Levesque McMahon and Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa, a dude that was primed when he annihilated, not just defeated Jonathan Cena at Crown Jewel November 4th, but he annihilated John Cena. John Cena did the ultimate deed to Solo Sikoa. And this was going to propel that dude. I'm not saying he was polished enough to start main eventing WrestleManias. I wasn't one of those wild fans saying things like he's got to be the one to defeat Roman Reigns for the title. Absolutely not. But you do not take the gift that John Cena gave you and ask for a gift receipt because you want to return that gift. Absolutely not. And that's what Paul Levesque McMahon did. Paul Levesque McMahon, he took that gift and the very next day he tried to return it. You guys saw Friday night. He lost straight up to Randall Orton. Randall Orton. Now you say, well, BC, it's Randy Orton. I mean, it's not that much of a harm foul play, right? Absolutely it is. Take the deep dive with BC. When I got this report, which is reputable, that what they are hearing is Paul Levesque McMahon has just lost confidence. That's the only thing that these people in the know could come up with. The only thing that they were hearing was that Levesque McMahon is just not high on this dude anymore. So then BC takes that report, and I have to do my deep dive. Now I'm going to jump into the history books, do the research, and see if there is any substance to that report. And you know what I found upon my research? Solo Sikoa, since Triple H, Paul Levesque McMahon has taken over fully for creative, which was end of August, and then September, it really kicked in. Since early September, Solo Sikoa has had 34 matchups. 34 matches since Paul Levesque McMahon fully took over creative. In those 34 matches, Solo Sikoa has won 2. 2 out of 34. And one of those was from Jonathan Cena, Crown Jewel. So you have to believe that John Cena absolutely wanted to do that, probably against Paul Levesque McMahon's better judgment, or what he felt was better judgment. I didn't mind the call as long as they're actually going to promote and push Solo Tin Sikoa as a dominant beast. 2 matchups in his last 34. He claimed victory. 32 out of 34, he was the loser in the contest. Since John Cena, wait, you got to hear this, right? Because as I kept going with my research, this is a true stat that I came across. Since John Cena since Solo, not just defeated, annihilated John Cena. Since Solo defeated Cena, he has had 21 matchups. Solo Sikoa, 21 matches since annihilating Cena, and out of those 21, he has won 0. He has lost every single match since he annihilated John Cena. Pay-per-view, television, house shows, all included, 21 matches. All of November, that was beginning of November 4th, so all of November, December, and now we are now at the end of January. So the past 3 months since Cena got annihilated by Solo, Solo has not won a single match. Several weeks, absolutely, completely taken off TV. It doesn't help that Roman Reigns, who he's supposed to be behind, doesn't show up every Friday or even every other. So that doesn't help the situation. And then the booking of him. It's not just about wins and losses, right? As much as we do talk about wins and losses, there are times where absolutely they matter. There's times where promoters like TK recently will shout out from the mountaintop about how wins and losses have to matter. Absolutely, there's times for that. But there's more to booking than just wins and losses, right? It's relevancy. So then you look beyond just the stat of wins and losses. Okay, BC, he only won 2 out of 34. He's won 0 matches since Cena got annihilated by him. Okay, none of that looks or sounds good. I understand, BC. But that's not everything, right? Nope, you're right. It's not. So let's look at his booking. Again, many weeks he's not even on the show. And when he is, I did my research, his booking is nothing more than a tag team partner to Jimothy Uso. He is nothing more than a demoted member of the Bloodline. That's how he's been booked. 9 out of 10 times, he was literally the heel taking all of the face's maneuvers. That's okay if you're just a heel. This dude was positioned to be one of the next big things. Not like a Brock Lesnar, relax, but one of those dudes that people like John Cena was going to do this massive deed for. The company, Paul Levesque McMahon, was going to give him that rocket and do it properly by putting this dude that still has a lot to learn into the predicaments and situations that is going to help propel him and gain him the confidence. Not demote him and propel him the opposite way or regress the dude. Because this is a regression. So why we shouldn't be shocked because what we saw Friday night, yeah, that's pretty obvious that somebody backstage absolutely isn't high on Solo Sikoa. But when I got that report that Levesque McMahon lost all confidence, that's when I did my deep dive. And I can pinpoint it to right when Levesque McMahon took over. 32 matches he has lost out of 34. And when Cena gave Levesque McMahon and WWE that gift, they immediately tried to return that gift. 21 matches since John Cena got annihilated by Solo. Did that deed to Solo, in all 21 he has lost. And then this past Friday was the obvious cherry on top when Randy Orton just beats him with one RKO. One. A basic squash. But it was a few more minutes than a squash, BC, and then Solo got some moves in, man. It was a squash for all intents and purposes because this dude took one RKO and was flat on his back looking up at the lights. This was a dude that annihilated John Cena. 87 Solo spikes. The dominance was echoing throughout that stadium and everybody at home or in the bars, wherever they were watching. It was deafening, that annihilation. And then here we are all these months later. 32 out of 34 L's, 21 straight L's, flat on his back on national TV. What do you mean you lost confidence in him? Now's the time you build that confidence. You take what Cena delivered for you, to you, and you build on it. You build on Solo. I'm not saying Solo has to win every single one of his matches. I'm not saying Solo's got to start main eventing pay-per-views. I'm saying book him strong because Cena put it in your lap. Don't just smack Cena across the mug, say F you to John Cena, and move on like he did nothing for you. This is wild. I'm not saying I'm the biggest Solo supporter. I'm not. I'm not saying he's a once-in-a-lifetime athlete or performer. Don't believe he is. But there's a presence there. A lot of people were still supporting him. He had fans buzzing. A lot of people see the potential. And John Cena felt now's the time to let's get the ball started. The Austin Theory thing, the company's at least been trying to push this dude from the beginning. It just isn't working. Theory doesn't connect with the crowd. To this day, they pipe in boos for Austin Theory. I feel bad for Cena. He actually put this dude over. It did nothing. So then he said, this guy, he's attached to Roman. I'm guessing the company's going to back him big. I'm going to do the ultimate deed. I'm not just going to lose to Solo. I'm going to do the ultimate deed, get annihilated by this kid, and hope the company backs up what I am doing for them. And whether it's consciously or subconsciously, HHH just sabotaged the entire plan for John Cena. All of that was for nothing. You guys realize that, right? That entire annihilation. Since then, Solo Sikoa has been irrelevant. Irrelevant to the point where you wouldn't even know he lost 21 straight matches. And if you're wondering, right, well, maybe they heard all of the buzz and the noise after Friday night, right? They're going to start to book Solo a little better. If you're wondering that, this weekend they just did a house show after SmackDown, after everybody was like, whoa, did they really just do that, the Solo on Friday Night SmackDown? Guys, at a house show, he just lost to AJ Styles. Flat on his back, he's looking up at the lights. Lost to AJ Styles. So now he's back on the tour circuit, collecting more L's town to town to let everybody know he's not this monster, he's not this beast, he's not this machine. He's just Solo, one of the henchmen, one of the gophers for Roman, instead of being somebody that was being built up. You know, when Batista was with Paul Levesque McMahon in their group Evolution, Batista was being built up in that group. It is clear that Solo is not looked at in the same light. Now you could say, well, Solo's nothing like Batista, BC. That's not the point being made. The point is still, that is the group. That is one of the henchmen. You have two options. You're going to build them up, right? HHH is the lead guy, but you're either going to build up these kids like Batista and Randy Orton, or you're going to literally keep them as henchmen, irrelevant, and they're never going to be anything. They decided to build up Orton and Batista. Cool. To this day, they're HHH's boys. There is no reason for Solo to be booked like this. Moving on. Trinity, Fatu, Naomi. This is big. We just broke this. Well, this was out there anyway. And then we talked about it on the channel. That we had pretty much a specific date for Trinity Fatu's last dates for TNA. And she was wrapping up that contract, ending the relationship with TNA. All commitments filled. It was not hard to kill against Jordynne Grace when Grace took that championship. That was not her last day. We were hearing she was going to do the final tapings for the 19th and the 20th, which was this past weekend, Friday night, and yesterday, the Saturday the 20th. That was the report we were hearing. That's what we discussed in one of our last uploads. A major update. That was the case. More than confirmed now. I can speak. More coffee, BC. More than confirmed now. When Trinity Fatu ended her last match, Saturday night, the 20th, she addressed the crowd. Naomi, Trinity Fatu, says, and I quote to the live crowd, "Coming to TNA has been life-changing for me, both inside and outside the ring. I feel honored to work with such a strong division and an incredible group of women. Wow, what a champion we have here on our hands." Jordynne Grace, obviously. And then she gestured to Jordynne Grace for those that didn't see any footage or didn't hear about it. She really hyped up Jordynne Grace. That's epic. That's what you want to do on the way out. The crowd starts chanting for Jordynne Grace, so that worked out very well. And then she says, when all of y'all think of TNA, I want you to think of me, Trinity N.A. Yeah, you see what she did there? Trinity N.A. I like that. Thank you for coming out, she addresses the crowd. We love you. So she says her last parting words of TNA, when you all think of TNA, I want you to think of me. And she says, coming here has been life-changing inside and outside the ring. And she really pumps up the new champion, Jordynne Grace. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is her last appearance in TNA. And we are just 6 nights away from the Royal Rumble. I'm just saying. First, we're hearing that she was wrapping her time up. Then we heard specific dates. Her last appearance could be the 20th. It ends up being the 20th. She says her goodbyes. Now the only question is, has WWE already dotted their I's, crossed their T's? And the final paperwork for her new WWE contract, is it already set in stone? Are they still waiting to dot some of those I's and cross those T's? You gotta believe this is gonna get done before the Rumble. Naomi in the Royal Rumble is always so much fun. Like Kofi Kingston, they always think of something original and badass to do. Athletic ability to a whole nother level. This is her event. I just hope it's not just for a pop in the Rumble. I hope that they have something big planned for Naomi, that they finally give her the respect that she has earned for a decade in that company. And sadly, it got to the point where she felt she wasn't getting it and had to walk out. That is an absolute unacceptable circumstance that arose in WWE, and now there's a chance to correct it. Some people thought that her and Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné would never show up back in WWE, but they've also said the same thing about CM Punk, and sometimes hell freezes over, and like BC says, they always come back. Whether it's a Bruno Sammartino, a Hulk Hogan, an Ultimate Warrior, a Bret Hart, or a CM Punk. Naomi, Sasha Banks, they're no different. They always come back. Guys, until next time, and there will be that next time. Top guys, we are out. BC saying check you. Peace.